Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're viewing from. Thank you for always watching my video. I want to show you how I made this very delicious vegetable soup. Come along with me as I show you my ingredients. So this is green vegetables already sliced. I always love to use green vegetables. I don't know the botanical name, but it's called alefo in the north central region of Nigeria. I'll be using scotch bonnet pepper as well. You can use any quantity according to the amount of food that you want to cook. I'll also be adding some pumpkin leaf. This is already sliced, and of course you have to always wash it before you slice it. I'll also be using some chili pepper, half an onion for this soup. Some people don't like to put onions in their soup, but I always put onions in my soup. My egusi is already ground. I'm not using a lot of this because I'm only going to be using it as a thickener or a base for the soup. Some crayfish, always use a generous quantity. I think this is generous enough for the amount of soup that I want to make this afternoon. This is Okpehe local spice made from Prosopis africana. I'm also going to be using locust bean. This is frozen, that's why it's looking like this. And some dry fish. So as usual, we're going to blend all of our ingredients together, apart from the leaves, of course. So we're going to blend it into a very, very smooth paste. So make sure that you arrive at a very smooth paste, looking just like this. Like this. This is just fine. Yeah, so I'm boiling my beef. I only seasoned it with salt and onions because, of course, this is soup we're making. So we don't want to add curry, thyme, and all those. Meanwhile, I'll just go ahead to wash my dry fish with some hot water and salt. All right, so at this point I'm going to add in my blended ingredients that I set aside, and then I'll allow it to simmer for about 10 minutes before I add other ingredients. So I'll just add in the fish at this point. I just want it to be a little bit seasoned, and I will remove it as soon as I'm sure that it has absorbed enough spice and it is already well flavored. I'll take it out so that it doesn't get scattered. So I'll just leave it to simmer for just about 5 minutes and it will be ready to be taken out. So this has taken in, this is after 5 minutes, and I think this is ready to come out at this point. So I'm bringing out the fish. As you can see, they are still very much intact, but they are cooked already. So I'll just take them out at this point before I add in my palm oil. So you can use a cup of palm oil. I already know the quantity from experience, so don't mind me. This is just about a cup. Okay. Then I also add in my egusi at this point. Okay, we're not adding in much because we're not cooking egusi soup. So this is just to make the soup, the vegetable soup, a bit thick, so it will serve as a base. So I'm going to cover the pot and allow it to cook for about 5 minutes before I add in my vegetables. Okay, the soup is thickening up. I'm still going to leave it to thicken up some more. But at this point, I think it's time to taste the soup. already tasting very delicious. So I'll just leave this for another 5 minutes so that it can thicken up some more before I add in my vegetables. I left this for another 5 minutes and the soup is thick enough now, so it's now time to add in my seasoning cubes. Don't worry, this is safe quantity of seasoning cubes, so don't be afraid. Don't be afraid of too much sodium monoglutamate. Okay, so I'm not going to add in another salt because the salt that I used to season the meat is just sufficient for this. So I'll just go ahead and add in my vegetables now. I'll start with the pumpkin leaves first of all. So I'm going to just allow this to steam for 5 minutes before I add in the other leaf, which is green vegetable. Our soup is looking exciting already. I'll just close the pot and allow it to steam for 5 minutes. Yep, 5 minutes. And this is how our soup is looking. It's looking like egusi soup, but this is not egusi soup, trust me. I'm adding in the green vegetables at this point, and I'm going to allow it to steam for just another 5 minutes and our soup will be ready. Okay, I think I'm going to have to add some more palm oil on this just to make it a little bit more sumptuous or more enticing. I just like to see the palm oil in the soup when I'm eating my soup. So I think I'm going to add in some more palm oil. But if you're trying to avoid calories, you can skip that part, okay? So I'm going to cover the pot now and allow this to simmer for the next 5 minutes before I add in the palm oil as well as the dry fish. Okay, we're going to check our soup now. It's already time, 5 minutes. Oh, the soup is looking very good already. So I'm going to stir it now at this time, and then I'll add in some more palm oil like I already told you. So I just add a little bit more palm oil just to make it a little bit more sumptuous, not excess. Okay, so this is just right, and then I'll go ahead to add in my fish. So I'll add it gently because I don't want it to scatter. So I'm putting it back into the soup. You can see the fish is still intact. And our soup is already ready to be served. Okay. So I'll just cover this for a bit and our soup will be ready to be served. All right, vegetable soup. My food is served though after the very hard work. I have to be the first beneficiary of this hard work. Let me just do justice to this. Wow, this is so delicious. Trust me, if you try this soup, you will always cook it every weekend for your weekend enjoyment. Strictly for weekend enjoyment. Thank you so much for watching my videos and always coming back to comment. Have a blessed day. Bye bye.